Okay, so I've got an episode of Hacker Hate Watch pretty close to done. Now I get why people monetize stuff like this. Yeesh. Fitting all this in with everything going on in life and editing videos at the same time is just not my strong suit. I picked up some tips and some anti-tips watching videos from folks like Dave Plummer. I think I have a pretty good read on how Dave does his channel. Like me, he types out what he's going to talk about, but he does this into some kind of cool teleprompter gizmo he uses for the subtitles. For a while, I was really trying to keep my script 100% with my prompter because having this content be 100% accessible by default is super important to me. I'll explain why in a second. To be accessible, I want what I say to be accurately represented to vision impaired people also. Sorry, that sounded wooden, didn't it? Uh, it just trying to keep myself real here. Um, I was letting even the slightest drift in the script and the prompter get to me. So, in the interest of being able to have more time for these episodes, I only cut out phrases where I say something stupid, but I cut both the audio and the text. It seems pretty obvious when I typed it out earlier, I suppose. So, anyway, Dave's podcast has inspired me. I'm going to try and tie a couple of more interactive elements into things here. I'm going to need a team of professionals to help me get my old office area into shape so I can do some recording from there. When I can do that, that's going to help some with the editing also. I mean, I hope it is. There's this story that I've started to tell a few times now about how easily I remembered some obscure part of IBM PC XT machine architecture. So instead of telling this story, I found a way to show you. No one wants to hear me sit here and spit out random memory addresses without showing you the goods to back it up. So I found a way to back some of this shit up. Bottom line is there will be more actual video content. Not my face or even my avatar, not yet. I'm not trying to be mysterious like Kiss. Like I said, you can easily figure out who I am. It's that whole issue I have looking at my actual face. I just need to ease into all this. Okay, so why is accessible content important to me? Every year for the past 6 or 7 years, I volunteered like 30 minutes a year of my time at a organization called DBVI, the Division for the Blind and Visually Impaired in Central Virginia. I'll say it for the internet to hear. This time I spend at DBVI every year means so much to me. The look that someone gets on their face when they're working on a technical problem and they get it, that's like a drug to me. I love watching that light bulb go off. That's what got me. These kids are part of a week-long class that teaches engineering skills, and I would see kids that working through a problem. One in particular really sits kind of at the back of my brain. Um, Apparently, the problem had been really kind of thwarting him, and I know what that feeling is, man. That's awful. And he figured it out, and he was excited to tell me, specifically me, and I'm just there to my only role in all this is to let them know how their skills are needed in the marketplace. And I'll get to that in a second. But you know, every year I get some. I lost my place, so uh, they're part of this week long class that teaches engineering skills, and tomorrow's the day I visit, and I'm beyond thrilled. Like every year I make this a priority because it is a priority to me. And each year I'm pretty sure I just said this, but I get some version of the question. Are there opportunities in the workforce for for somebody that with a vision impairment? And the answer is emphatically yes. I mean, I understand the basis of the question, right? I mean, there's a pretty fundamental challenge there. And if you only judge success, engineering success, in terms of how many lines of code someone can bang out, that's kind of stacking the deck, right? I mean, engineering is not necessarily a metric to measure. It's making sure things are done soundly and in a way that best serves the intended user audience. I mean, structural engineers aren't graded by how many floors they can complete in a certain time frame, are they? I mean, I hope not. Jesus, that's scary. Look, think about the obvious advantages of working with someone with a visual impairment. UX components need to be usable by everyone, not just people who are able to figure it out using their eyes. Web accessibility skills are in huge demand, and there's a huge advantage in that perspective that someone has who has to use these tools in doing their day-to-day work. But then in the past couple of years, think about the way this could be beneficial in a security uh, application as well. You know, sighted individuals have an inherent bias. Like, we see data and we let our eyes fool us sometimes. I'm guilty of it. I literally just happened to me yesterday afternoon. And in the security space, things are not always obvious when an attack originates. And so teaching, getting kids hooked on computers at this juncture and giving them that security underpinning, that think like the attacker that they're going to need. I'm so excited about it. So I'd really like to commend Dr. Chuck Gardner on the work he's done over the years working with these kids, and Tish Harris. Every year she puts us together and she makes me feel so welcome. And every year I look forward to her email and I'm like, please let it be, you know, let it work out. So I'll see you both tomorrow. And if I get lucky, I get to see one kid that really gets it. And his light's gonna amaze me just like it does every time I see it. Yeah, I get it. It sounds hokey, but it's real. I've seen it firsthand and I'm hooked. Take care.